Perfect. Okay. Hi, ladies. Okay, so I'm so excited to talk to you guys tonight. I'm sorry that we had to switch the time, but thank you for giving me some grace. It has been a crazy couple of days, but like just getting poured into and being such a great um, time. Have you ever, okay, drop a one if you feel as though it's not the consistency, or excuse me, drop a one if you feel that you have problems with consistency. Okay. Like consistency in the business, like continuing consistency. Okay. She literally is doing exactly what I'm doing. Do it again. Do you have problems with consistency? Okay. Anyways, I have a little helper tonight. Daddy's been letting her stay up extra late the last couple of nights. So when I tried to get her down for bed, that was like a no-go. Quiet, baby. So struggle with consistency, right? Let's drop a two if you struggle with believing in yourself. Okay, same. Drop a two for me, y'all. Okay, so here's what's so crazy is we went to this retreat this week. I'm gonna start with this really quickly to kind of put this in perspective. And what I didn't realize is that we actually don't have problems with consistency or self-worth or like, what's the word? What else did I just say? F. What did I just say? Number two. You guys bear with me. I'm literally running on 3 hours of sleep a night. You know what's super funny too is there was no alcohol at this retreat. Have you ever had that? Like there was legit no alcohol at this retreat and we stayed up until 5 a.m. 5 a.m. every single night. Like it was just like, Brian's like, are you guys like getting hammered? Like, why were you up till 5 a.m.? And I'm like, the connections and the talking literally lit our souls on fire. Okay. Believing in yourself. Thank you, Alexa. So consistency or believing in yourself. Here is what that translates to. It's not actually the consistency or the work or the believing in yourself. There's a root to that. Okay. And we went to this retreat and it was called Rooted. Like it was literally called Rooted. And if you have ever read the book Live, she talks about words and what they mean. And I just realized there's spit up all over my shirt. It's fine. She talked about Rooted, and that was the theme of this. It's by Sadie Robinson. So good. Okay. It's literally all about living, and I'll read you the definition of life for her. Because I'm going to read it to you, but in just 1 second. So what I learned was that I wasn't there to learn about business. Like it was very apparent. The second that I walked in, it was like, honestly, and if you're on the Level Up Leadership, you're going to hear even more like in depth. So if you're not on it yet, get on it for the next couple of weeks, because you can go, if you make it on even just once, you can go back and watch the ones that have already been recorded. Okay. So if you're not going to be on it tonight, it's going to be super special. So I won't give away too much, but I want to say something about, I didn't know why I was there. Honestly, I was struggling hardcore, y'all. I was struggling with not being with my people. I was struggling with not being with my teams back in Oregon. I was struggling so bad. Like, why am I here? Why was I called here to this retreat and not to my team? Do I not have anything to offer to my team? Like, do I feel like I need to have a breakthrough? Like I need to work through stuff. And then there was the like little voice inside my head that was like, you're a top leader going to an event with new distributors. Like there was a lot of new distributors there. There was other top leaders too, but there was a lot of newer distributors. And I'm like, okay, am I here to add value? Because I'm not trying to have a breakthrough and break down in front of like newer distributors who look up to me. Like that can't be why I'm here. Right. Time went on and it revealed itself. What I knew immediately when I walked in was I was not there to be there for work. I was there to understand the process of roots and where things come from. How many of you struggle with mom guilt? Drop a 3. Mom guilt is real, y'all. I didn't know that I struggled with mom guilt until this weekend. I didn't. You know what's so crazy is that with Huntley, I never felt guilty. I never felt guilty about working. It didn't even cross my mind. Now with Hux, for some reason, I have this mom guilt, and it's not with work. Okay. This is the craziest part. Before I get into this book real quick, this is the craziest stuff. It's not with work. What it comes from is I have Hux in a retreat full of 30 people. And at every point, people are trying to take my baby, like in just out of genuine, like you're here. Let me just take him for you. Let me put him to bed. Let me, I'll take him. You go eat, you go do this. And I'm sitting there like, no, I can't do it. Like, I've got this totally fine. You need to be here to get stuff that you need to get out of this. I'm good. I brought my baby. He's chill. Like, we're good. Like, you don't need to, like, I'm good. Like, do I look like I'm stressed out? Like, literally all of these things are playing through my head. Like, am I not capable? Did they not think that I can like take care of my son? Like, what is the deal? You guys, I started unpacking that with a lot of the women there. I started to realize, like, we went to the hot tub one night and he was asleep. He was literally asleep. There was so many other people in that house that had the monitor on him, and the hot tub was like a ways away from the house. It was like in a little community. And I kept like having panic attacks, not like full blown panic attacks, but just like I was panicking because I was like, he probably needs me. Like, I need to go back. Like, it had only been an hour. And I'm like, what if he wakes up and he's hungry? Like, I've got to go back and I've got to feed him. Anxiety. Yes. And one of the moms goes, where did you get this guilt? Like, where did you get it? And I was like, I don't have guilt. Like, it's not guilt. It's just that I don't want people to have to take care of my son when I'm capable. And she's like, of course you're capable. You're his mother. Of course you're capable of it. But where did the guilt come from when somebody wants to serve you? When somebody wants to serve you and be like, when is this girl ever going to get a chance to just like not have her son for a second? They live on the road in a fifth wheel. She never gets a break. Like, I just want to serve her and I want to be able to put her son to bed, or I want to be able to help her while she eats, or I want to why won't you let us give that to you? And I had to kind of turn that around and go, oh my God, they're trying to gift me something. And I'm legit slapping them in the face when I say, no, it's okay. I got it. But really what I was meaning behind that was like, I have guilt and don't want you to have to take care of my son. And this insecurity of like, I can do it. You don't need to do it for me, when somebody was just trying to help me. And I was literally not willing to accept the help. Okay. I'll bring this back in of why it impacts my business. Okay. But what I realized when I was there was to learn that guilt wasn't mine. So this is going to go super deep real quick, y'all. My mother had me and my brother, right? And they divorced. My parents divorced when I was 10 years old. So when we were placed with my mom for the first 6 months, and we didn't see my dad, we were placed with my mom passed on this guilt of her not being, and this is genuine, like straight up, she actually couldn't, thank you, like actually couldn't take care of us, like legit, like was on drugs and drinking, and like I was taking care of my little brother, right? So she had guilt at that time, massive amounts of it, right? Like, how could you not? Like, you cannot take care of your kids, okay? So I'm not judging her for that, but I took that on. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I know this is deep. This is super deep right now, but have you ever carried something that's not yours? Like super deep, right? Drop a 4. Have you ever carried something that's not yours? I learned that this weekend. I learned that I have been carrying something that has literally been eating me alive, and it's not mine to have. It's not mine to work through. And I thought that I was there to like have this massive breakthrough of like, I'm going to ambassador this year. Like, don't get me wrong. We're going to ambassador. Like, do not get me wrong. Okay. But I was there to let go of that guilt, to literally have another woman look at me and go, where did this come from? Like, can we get deep for a second? Like, where did this come from? And I was literally like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I didn't have it with my daughter. And she goes, and again, you guys, I'm just speaking from the heart right now. Like, I know this probably doesn't make any sense. Like, let me know if anybody needs to hear this, because I know it's like my breakthrough and probably nobody else's, but like legit, it was like the biggest eye opener for me. Natalia, thank you so much. My legs are shaking. But seriously, it was like this weight had been lifted off of me that I had been carrying around for years and years and years. And so one of the things that she said was, you didn't have it with your daughter. She goes, do you have a brother? And I said, yeah. She goes, is he younger? I said, yeah. Like, where are you going with this? She's like, you didn't feel this guilt with your daughter because your cycle hadn't completed of like you and your brother. And then you just had Huntley, who represents you. And now you have Hux, who represents your brother. And all of a sudden you have this guilt that your mom left on you, right? And you have been carrying this for straight up 15 years, right? 15 years. What are you holding on to? I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's mom guilt. I don't care if it's feeling unworthy. Like, y'all, the thoughts that you have about feeling unworthy, just for 1 second, who struggles with unworthiness? Type I am worthy in the chats. Type I am worthy in the chats if you have struggled with unworthiness. Okay. Lex, this is for you. Destiny, this is for you. Mackenzie, this is for you. Nat, this is for you. Kiana, this is for you. Kayla, this is for you. What if that's not yours? Hazel, Bree, this is for you. What if you struggling with self-worth is not actually yours? What if you could come to the realization that somewhere, somehow, whether you were a little girl or just last week, you were in somebody's house where they didn't feel worthy and you grabbed that from them and stuck it on your shoulder. Okay, this is just like imagine like a chip on your shoulder. Okay, you literally just sat it right there and you're like, I'm just going to take on that because that's what I felt. But it's not yours. It's not yours to carry. So what I learned this weekend, one of the things, because I had like 17,000 breakthroughs, y'all. Like, I don't think I've ever cried this much in my entire life. And I'm like, not the crier, right? Like, I'm like, not the crier. I'm like, I literally sat there and they're like, what do you want to get out of this? And I was like, everybody else is sobbing. Okay. And I'm like, oh, I don't cry. So I'm not going to cry. Like, I'm like, I don't cry. I'm not going to do it. 20 minutes later, I'm sobbing harder than I've ever sobbed in my life, pouring out my freaking heart. Okay. That I didn't even know needed to open up. Okay. Like, literally I go, and I struggled through it. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm here. I haven't figured out why I'm here. Like, my team's back in Oregon. Like, why am I here? Like, I don't know. Like, I was struggling. I almost didn't go. And Amber was like, I would have been so pissed at you. Like, you needed this so bad. Like, this was for you to like open up and connect and do all these things. And so what I said was, I'm here to connect, but that makes me very uncomfortable. Connecting with people makes me very uncomfortable. Y'all, we're in the business of connecting with people. So obviously I needed a breakthrough, right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but did 2020 like make you feel like you no longer knew how to connect with anybody? Right? Like, how do we have a conversation with someone? How do we ask them what their kids' names are? Like, how, like legit, just a surface level question like that. Like, how are you? Oh, you have children too? Like, how old are they? Like, where are you from? Like, just the surface level shit is hard for me. I don't want to take the time to do it. Because if I take the time to do that, and then we don't actually become friends from it, then that's a waste of my time. This is just straight from the heart. This is like awful, right? But just hear me out. This is how I feel. Why? Surface level crap like actually makes me want to throw up. Don't have time for it. Like, let's get deep. Can we get deep? Can we get deep? Like, then if you get deep, then you want to throw up because you're like, oh my God, I just told this person something that like, what if they're judging me? What if they're judging me because I have mom guilt that I didn't even know I had for the last 15 years? I don't want somebody to ask me that. Where does that come from? I don't know. What are you like singing into my soul right now? Like, bye. I don't know where it comes from. I don't want that. Bye. I don't want that. I don't want to unpack that. I don't want to deal with it. But here's the thing. To unpack it was so simple. I realized it wasn't mine. I realized where it came from. And I was legit able to release it as easy as going like this. I'm just going to go ahead and like take that off of me. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. It's not mine. So I don't have to feel it anymore. The other thing that I was struggling with, and I know this, like, I know that not all of you are moms, so just hear me out for a second because I'll get on track. The other thing I was struggling with was I had to take Huxton because I didn't want to leave Brian with both kids. Like I was like, and I could have left him. He's 15 minutes away. Like if he gets hungry, bring him here. I'll feed him. Like he's eating normal food now too. So it's like that. Like I can't leave him with both kids. Like I just can't, like, that's not fair. Like literally I kept thinking in my head, that's not fair. Y'all, that wasn't mine. That's not mine. I never felt bad leaving him with Huntley. That's his daughter. Why do I feel bad leaving him with his daughter and son? Where did that come from? That came from my mother. That is absolutely not mine to carry. I can let that go. Right? And you know what we do to our husbands just really fast? Do you know what we do to our husbands when we do that? When we're like, I have to take him because like that's too much. Like, I don't want you to have to bear that. Right. We're coming from a good place. Like genuinely, I'm like, I don't want him to be stressed out. Like I'm coming from a good place. But what that told him was you can't handle both kids by yourself. That's what that did. That took that from him. I took that from him. Like I have to take him because you can't handle them both. Like that's like fighting words. That's like, that hurts people, right? It's the same way if somebody like Amber came over the other day and she's like, I'm going to watch your kids go on a date night. Can you mute Lex? Thank you. So I'm going to go, you guys are going to go on a date night. And I was like, legit, I'm like, okay, however, how many of you feel like, when people tell you to do something, you're like, nope, not doing it. Like gonna find every way not to do it because of the way you just told me to do it. Right. Like that's me. I feel that in my soul. I'm like, you want me to go on a date night with my husband? Yeah. I don't need somebody to tell me that I need a date night with my husband. So bye. I'm good. Right. Then I unpacked that for a second and I was like, oh my God, I need a date night so bad with him. I need, like, that's a gift. She just tried to give me a gift. And I just like threw it back in her face and was like, no, we're good. We're good. Why are you judging me? Like, we don't need a date night. Like, why are you judging my marriage? Like, we don't need a date night. Nobody's judging you. Who needs to hear that? Drop a 5. No one is judging you. No one. You're judging yourself. You're taking things away from people that they want to give you because you're judging yourself. Who needed to hear that? Right? I was judging myself. Oh my gosh, we haven't had a date night in so long. Oh my gosh, we really need to ask, but I like have so much pride. I don't want to ask again. That's not mine. That's my mom's, right? I'm carrying that. She didn't want to ask for help because she felt ashamed that she couldn't do it by herself. Not mine. I can't take care of my kids by myself wholeheartedly, 100%. Why was I allowing that anxiety to get to me? It's not even mine. It's not even mine. Okay. So that unworthiness, that lack of consistency, that feeling that you can't do it or that you don't belong, it's not yours. Release it now. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. Whoever you believe in, higher power, God, universe, whatever, ask them to take it. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. But once you release it, there's another part to that. Then you need to learn how to block. No, you're totally fine, Lex. Then you need to learn how to block more from attaching to you. Right? So you go see one of your best friends. She's really struggling. You're doing great. Everything's good. You fully like released everything, blah, blah, blah. And you see your best friend and she's struggling with self-worth. I'm just using this as an example. And she unloads on you and she tells you all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden you leave that. You ever feel that? You leave feeling like energy depleted, right? Like they just sucked everything good that was out of you because you're just exhausted. It was like negative, right? Because you didn't guard yourself, because you weren't like, okay, I know that I am this. I am statements are huge, y'all. Like think of 5 things right now that like you are. What are you? What are you? I am capable. I am loving. I am more than enough. I am strong. I am a light. Like, what are you? What are those 5 things for you that you can repeat when you start to feel like heavy, when you start to feel like somebody took your joy? Because just as easy as somebody can drop that on your shoulder, they can just as easily take things from you, good things. right? That you're hanging on to that you need. So self-development, huge, right? Obviously, always have to be pouring into yourself. But when you hear something, yes, drop them, please. I'm going to repeat Lex's because this is so good. I am strong-willed, loving, worthy, fun, a good mom, wife, and friend. Absolutely. Say those things, then believe them and guard those. Guard those. Don't let anybody take that from you, right? But then don't allow anybody else to drop things on you that aren't yours. I did not plan on going this deep or talking about this tonight, but I just feel like feel this so hard that like it needed to be shared. And it was one of my biggest takeaways of just like, wow, look what's been holding me back in life, not just business. Because let's be real, y'all, what we do is not who we are. It works, brings us all together, but it is absolutely not who we are. I'm sorry, but I do not want to die tomorrow and have somebody be like, oh yeah, that was the It Works girl. You know, like anybody feel that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I want them to be like, dude, she had so much to offer. She did something like health and wellness, I think, but like she had so much to offer. Positivity, grace, love, light, so much that shined through her. And she owned her own business. Like that's what I want people to remember about me. Right? Not like, I think she just did like It Works. Like that's all she did. Like, no, that's not what we're here for. It Works as our vehicle. It's not who we are. So I've had so many, here's another thing that's not mine, really fast. I've had so many people message me and go, hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay? You haven't been on your stories. Are you okay? Dude, like 3 weeks ago, I would have let that eat me alive and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't showed up for people. I can't believe I haven't made my freaking coffee on social media. Like I have to do it because it's just, I have to show up and I have to do it. Yada, yada, yada. Today I told Brian, I was like, I released that crap. It is left in that house. Like the amount of baggage that was left in that house, I hope they saged the crap out of it. Okay. Because like dead serious, the amount of stuff that we left there was out of control. Okay. In a good way. Right. I left knowing that my social media does not determine if I'm okay or not, if I show up or don't. Okay. I don't have guilt for being like, oh my gosh, I haven't made my coffee in 3 days with people. Cause sorry, I was kind of pouring into myself and letting go of things I've been hanging on to for 15 years. Right? Like there's no apology there. There's no yes or no, I'm okay. There's no explaining. Powerful people do not owe anyone an explanation. Who needed to hear that? Somebody write that in the chat. Powerful people do not owe anybody an explanation. Okay. Again, that comes from like shaming, right? That comes from like other people shaming you at some point. I got to share something. This is like nuts. There was somebody there. There was a woman there. I'd never met her before. But she wore a wig. Beautiful woman. She wore a wig the whole time. And I asked her, your wig, like, I was like, your wig is so beautiful. Like, what, like, can I ask why you wear it? Like, we were getting deep, right? Like, can I ask why you wear it? And she said, yeah, like, y'all, this might make me cry. She said, yeah, one time I was getting my hair done. And the lady said that I had really thin hair and that it wasn't good hair. Like that she just didn't like my hair. And so now I wear a wig everywhere I go. And I said, one person said that to you. She said, yeah. And I said, how long ago was that? She said, 22 years ago. Y'all, 22 years, this woman has been wearing a wig because one person told her that they didn't like her hair. That's heavy. That is fucking heavy. Like how, the first thing I thought of was my daughter. Like, how would I explain that to her? Like, how would I explain, like, mommy wears this because somebody hurt me? You know what I mean? Like how, like, You know what that showed me? One, we need to be kinder to people, right? We need to stop effing judging. Can I get an amen? Like, we need to stop judging. Because if I'm being real, I'm like, well, why is she wearing that? Did she have cancer? Like, all, like, literally, like, that's the first thing that I think of, because I'm like, did she lose her hair? Like, why? Like, I'm judging without knowing, right? Like, I'm like, why does she wear that? First of all, why does it fucking matter? Why did I notice? Why does it matter? Right? I'm glad I noticed, because I was able to connect with her, and I hope that I made an impact. Right? But how many people walk by her and don't notice that? Don't notice that about her and make assumptions and don't offer to help her through that. You know what's crazy, since we're on the subject of hanging on to things? The woman that was doing her hair had a problem with her hair because the woman that was doing her hair had a problem with her own hair. Do you realize that? Like, we deflect what actually our own issues are. 100%. So this woman has been wearing a wig for 22 years because someone else had a problem with the way that they looked. And she's carrying that for her. And I pray to God that she releases it. Right? So you don't have to put this in the comments, but I do want you to think on this for a couple of days. What are you holding on to that is not yours? That it's time that you let go of. You can ask yourself a couple of questions like, is this mine? You can literally say, like, is this mine? Is this true?
Why are you doing that?
Doing what?
Crazy.
Am I tapping?
Yeah.
I didn't notice I was. Is this true? Who would I be without that thought? That's a powerful question. Who would I be without that thought? When I go into like a anxiety or panic, right before this, I realized that my kids were going to be awake. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I thought I was going to be able to get them to bed. Like, oh my gosh, like, they need to go to bed, because what if I can't, like, get out what I need to say? These girls need me to show up and be worthy and, like, give them all of these, be of value. And like, I wasn't expecting this, and they're supposed to be in bed. And I literally go, who would I be without this right now? Like, knock, 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 excuse me. Can we, like, let's just, like, get rid of all that for just 1 second. Who would I be without this? I would be powerful, empowering, loving, gifted. Like I just started saying the things that I want to be. And then I got on here, and this is what I'm talking about tonight. And guess what? My kids have been awesome. You haven't heard Huck scream once, and he's usually wailing, right? Huntley's coming up here saying hi, being like super good. Like, because who am I right now? I am an incredible mom, wife, leader, person, friend. That's who I am. So I don't need the baggage that comes elsewhere, right? Let me read about words real quick. So Sadie Robinson, Live, if you weren't on in the beginning, Sadie Robinson wrote this book. This will wreck you, okay? If you're ready to be wrecked, if you're ready to release some stuff and you're ready to be wrecked, this is the book for you, let me tell you. This chapter is called Words. It's very quick, so just bear with me. I'm going to read it. Babe, can you bring me a water, pretty please, when you can? Yeah, we don't have any. Just like ice water is fine too. We don't have a water bottle. It's fine. You guys, you like in Florida, I would have been like, nope, find a water bottle. Like, Florida water is disgusting. But here in Utah and like on the West Coast, I'm like obsessed with the tap water because it's like mountain water. It's so good. I crave it. Okay, words. I love words. I like to understand them better through their definitions. The ability to use words is something that makes us humans different from any other part of God's creation. In John, Jesus is referred to as the Word. John 1 through 1, John 1, 1 through 5 says this. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Even if your world feels dark right now, you guys, just stick with me. No matter what you believe, this will impact you, okay? Even if your world feels dark right now, the darkness has not and never will overcome the light. Words, the ones we speak over ourselves and over others, are powerful. In this book, I want to equip you with some of those words of life. Before I continue, have you guys ever seen, you can look this up on YouTube. Have you guys ever seen, it's like let's picture two plants, okay? They're both like two plants that you get from the store, the same exact plant, same exact thing. If you write on like sticky notes and stick it on them, like unworthy, not good enough, won't grow, like hurt, like all the things that you think that you are, if you write those things on one of them and then you write empowering, loving, uplifting, positive, like all of these good things on one, legit, you guys can look it up, the plant will not grow. And if it does grow, it will be like wilted and like brown and like awful. And the one that you're feeding positive, like just writing positive words on it and sticking them on there, it grows. Straight up, it blew my mind. I just learned this. Somebody the other day was like, I saw that when I was like 10 years old. I'm like, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of it. The energy that you're allowing to affect your life through words, the anxiety that I have is through words and thoughts that I have in my head that are not mine, right? That are not of light, that are not of me. Thank you. I don't know, that like crazy. Like look it up. It's crazy. Hold on. This is like really hard to get off. Goodness gracious. Okay. Huntley is a vibe right now, right? What are you eating, baby? Cracks. Crackers. Just in case you're wondering what cracks were. Let's take a minute and talk about the word live and some more definitions of this powerful verb. In addition to remaining alive, another definition is to make one's home in a particular place or with a particular person. A synonym for this is reside. For our purposes, let's keep it simple by combining those two and saying that to live is to remain and to reside. What does that look like? Remaining and residing. To remain means to continue to exist, especially after other similar or related people or things that have ceased to exist. Maybe you have been trying to remain in things that will not last instead of things that are eternal. Who has been remaining in things that will not last instead of in things that are eternal, right? Negative instead of positive. Maybe the job you thought would last forever let you go. You had to move. Your parents got divorced. Your friends left. You broke up. The season changed. The thing you put your security in has crumbled, and now you do not know what your life is. It can be tough to remain, right? Or live in this case, when it seems like everything else is falling apart around you. There's an even win quality to both definitions, right? To remain alive, we have to continue, even when things change and circumstances fall apart. Now, isn't that something? How do we do that? By remaining in the one who never changes. James 1:17 tells us every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. Does it feel like the circumstances of your life are constantly changing? Of course it does, because we live in a world of seasons. The things of this life change. So I want to remind you or lead you to remain in God. He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is what I have found to be the path of life. The other part of our definition of live is to reside. Because of Jesus, you have a place where you belong. You get to reside in God's house forever. By the way, for those of you who don't know who Sadie Robinson is, I just like, there's a picture in here and I just realized that. Have you guys ever seen Duck Dynasty? So Sadie Robinson is the daughter of the main guy there. Like, I used to watch her when she was like teeny tiny, and now I'm like reading her book and she's inspiring the shit out of me. Anyways, just letting you know. So God's house forever. Ephesians 2:19-22 paints a powerful picture of this. You're no longer wandering exiles. This kingdom of faith is now your home country. You're no longer strangers or outsiders. You belong here with as much right to the name Christian as anyone. God is building a home. He is using us all, irrespective of how we got here. In what he is building, he used the apostles and prophets for the foundation. Now he's using you, fitting you in brick by brick, stone by stone, with Jesus Christ as the cornerstone that holds all the parts together. Okay, hold on. Maybe you are thinking, okay, I got it. I need to remain in God and reside in his house, but how do I really live? This is the part that I wanted you guys to hear. How do I really live? Because life just happened for us and death will happen to us. We sometimes forget that we have a part to play in an act of living. There's this whole spiritual realm thing happening, but how do we live right here, right now, with all the problems of today? It's hard to understand when our hearts are weighed down with the things that drain life away. The world tells us we'll find life in other people's approval. Who feels that so deep? The world tells us we'll find life in other people's approval and achievement in exercising more or eating better or by changing our makeup or hairstyle. It says we'll find life in all sorts of things that don't last or have any eternal value. It's understandable that when people base their lives on these things, which aren't of God or aren't of light himself, they feel like death is breathing in their faces. I know the feeling. It's something that happens to all of us, no matter who you are, how old you are, or where you are in your faith or your life. I will encourage you throughout this book to live in your solid identity and to say no to lies that your identity is in anything less. Live with purposeful direction and say no to cheap copies or temporary fixes. Live in the community of people around you and find a way to live fully and joyfully with them and in your God-given place among them. Say yes to life and find out what it can be, so much more than remaining alive, right? To live is so much more than just remaining alive. Keep reading because it's time for you to because it's time for you to truly live. Okay, so that's just like the first part that she talks about, like what life is to her and what it means to truly live. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and goes into so much that like just gives you so much guidance on how you can live the way that we truly want to live, right? Anyways, so I love this. Amber gave us this book at our retreat, and she also gave us Pam Souter's book, Rich Girl, Poor Girl. Y'all, I cannot wait to dive into it because I've like read little parts of it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. But we're going to talk about that for just 1 second too. How many of you are living in a poor girl mindset? Not talking about money. This has nothing to do with money, right? We can attach it to money if we want. But this poor girl mindset instead of the rich girl mindset. The rich girl believes in herself. The rich girl doesn't overwhelm herself with the amount of work and just stays consistent every single day because she knows what's coming. The rich girl gives love unto others because she wants to receive love, right? One of the things I struggle with really bad, is that I feel like I don't have enough to give, right? And so when people try to do things for me, like take my son and let me eat or put him to bed or like whatever, like literally I did not have Huxton the entire weekend unless he was eating. That's it. Like I was like, what? Like you need to be here. You need to be listening to this. What's so crazy is that it's like everyone, including myself, it took me a while to realize that I think I was there to learn that like I needed to be poured into. Like it's okay for me to be poured into. Yes, I do my self-development, right? Yes, I make sure that my cup is filled, but who am I allowing to pour into me? And here's the thing, we attract what we do. So if all I do is pour out onto others, then people just want to pour out onto me, right? This is such a powerful thing for me to realize this weekend, was that somebody said, you feel like you don't have anything to give. Like, it's very obvious. Like, you feel like that you're just taking. And I'm like, yes, it's so hard for me to like let that go and be like, you don't need to give me anything. Like, I can provide for myself. Like, I can fill my own cup. Like, I can do that by listening and diving in, and like, just like, I don't need anybody else to do that for me. And she's like, what you don't get is that you're cutting off the gifts that we want to give you, because you give so much. We're not talking gifts. We're not talking money. We're talking like, I give to people. I just do. I want to add value to their life. It's important to me. And so by doing that, I'm attracting that. But for so long, I have like put my hands up and literally been like, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Like, I'll just keep giving, but like, nobody can touch this. Like, nobody can touch my heart. Nobody can touch like my emotional side, right? Like, I don't need to cry. Like, that's for showers by myself. Any other mamas, like, you know, like, you don't need to see me cry. I can like bawl my eyes out in the shower for 2 minutes, come out and be totally chill and good to go for a whole week. Like, that's it. Like, I just need like a small little release by myself. Totally cool. Nobody else needs to see it, right? But what we do when we do that is we show others that we have no weaknesses. We show others that we are absolutely not relatable. We allow others to put us on a pedestal, okay? Because we're not being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is like the hardest thing for me to do. Why? Because that means that somebody could hurt me, right? That means that I might get my feelings hurt or get my heart hurt or whatever. So all of this, even though it's heavy, all of this plays into your business, connections, letting go of things. But it's on a way deeper level than, are you listening to your self-development? Are you doing your KPIs every single day? Are you messaging people? Right? Like, it's so much deeper because we do that stuff every day anyways. So what's the difference? The difference is you can do this as the poor girl mindset and not get anything from it and get burnout and frustrated and say, I'm doing all the things, but nothing's coming my way. Okay, that's that poor girl mindset. Or you can have the rich girl mindset that is more invested in who she is and what's true about her and what she can give to others. And as you complete those small steps daily, like your KPIs and your self-development and those things, but your main focus is on you and who you want to be and how you show up for others, that's when people start coming to you. That's when your team starts to grow. That's when things start to explode. Y'all, I didn't touch my phone like all weekend long. And every time I picked it up, I had a message from a random number ready to get started. Every time. I didn't even make a post. Like, what post did you see that said opportunity? Because it had to have been before this weekend. So like, what do you mean opportunity? Like, what post did you see? I literally asked people that. I was like, like, did our reels go viral again? Like, I don't understand. Like, what did you see? I've just been thinking about you and I always see your posts and your posts always say text opportunity to this. And so I found one that said it and I reached out to you because I couldn't get you out of my head. That's a rich girl mindset. I attracted that because I allowed myself to stop thinking in the poor girl. Here's my biggest aha moment, and this one might make me cry. My biggest aha moment that I was wrestling with was like, what are people going to think of me when they realize that, like, I didn't go ambassador last year? Because why? Like, why didn't I go ambassador? Do people look at me and go, oh yeah, she hasn't promoted in a while? Like, why hasn't she promoted? Why hasn't she gone ambassador? Like, why hasn't she gone triple diamond? Why hasn't she, right? Like whatever that is for you, double diamond, diamond, ruby, whatever. Why hasn't she done that yet? Again, this is a poor girl mindset, right? Because nobody's thinking that. Legit, like you can let that go because nobody but you is thinking that. Okay. They have their own shit to worry about. Like that sounds harsh, but it's the truth, right? They're too busy being like, who's upset with me because I have mom guilt? I don't know. Like I can't even think of anything right now because I want to like beat this into the ground for you. No one's thinking that but you. Okay. They're thinking of their own problems, right? So the biggest aha moment that I had was when they were announcing the bonuses. And I found myself asking God to not give me a bonus. Like, I don't want there to be an ambassador bonus attached. Like, I don't want that because last year there was only triple prez and diamond, or excuse me, triple prez and ambassador bonuses. There wasn't any bonuses for like your team, my team. There wasn't any bonuses for my team. Why in the world would I go grab a $50,000 bonus when it serves no one but me? This is how I know I'm living in a rich girl mindset, y'all. Are you ready? Like that serves nobody but me. That's why I didn't promote. I didn't want to. I didn't want like, and this isn't a cop out, y'all, for real. Like I've in my soul, straight up, like I did not want to go claim a $50,000 bonus and bulldoze over everybody so that I could be like, hey, I'm ambassador, got a 50K bonus, but none of my team got any bonuses. None of my team got anything out of this. Like what? That is not what drives me anymore. That's weird, right? Because Lex is probably like, what? You're like redder than red. Like when you first started, like I would have grabbed that 50K bonus in a heartbeat. That's for me. That's for me. Got my name written all over it, right? Here's the thing. I still love money. Okay. I still love seeing that bank account looking good, right? I still love money. I'm not going to turn it down, but it doesn't drive me. It doesn't drive me. I don't need that $50,000 bonus. My team does. Okay, so that's the rich girl mindset. Who needed to hear that tonight? Like the aha moment for me as I was sitting there and they announced the Emerald 5K, the Diamond 10K and the double 20K. I was like, stop there, stop there, stop there. And the reason why I was thinking that was because I want the triples, Lex, I'm talking to you, on this team to want their team to get bonuses over themselves. Because what that will do for Lex is have her go triple, but it'll also have her go ambassador this year. Because she's not thinking about herself. She's thinking about her team. She's thinking about Nat needs this 10K. Kayla needs this 10K. Destiny needs this 10K. And damn it, I will stop at nothing to get them there. She's triple. Then she goes, Mackenzie needs this 10K. Nat needs this 20K. Kayla needs this 20K. Boom, she's pressed. Right? Do you guys see what I'm doing? Who on your team needs you? Who needs you to show up for them in a different way? And some of you, it's really hard. Trust me, I've been there to be like, yeah, I get it. But like, I got to think of me at some point. Like I need to at least be making 500 a month or need to at least be making 1,000 a month before I can like start pouring into others. Right? Hear me out with love. Is that a poor girl mindset or a rich girl mindset? Go ahead and drop it. Is that a poor girl mindset or a rich girl? When you're thinking like, I need to be making this before I can help others, right? Poor girl. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sting a little bit, but it's the reason why you haven't made that amount yet. Okay? We're getting deep. It's the reason why you haven't made that amount yet. So when you get off of this call and you look at this chart, because I've been here, right? and you say, there's no one on here that is even working. There's no one on here that even wants this. This is when you shift to a rich girl mindset and you say, by Friday, I'm going to have 3 new people that want this. Because that's rich. You can have anything you want, right? So why can't you have 3 new people that want this? Then those 3 new people come in and take you to Ruby or back to Ruby, and now you have your $500 per month. Then you help those 3 people go find their 3 people. And then you're making $1,000 a month. And then you have those 3 people go find their 3 people. And then you're making $2,000 a month with a $10,000 a month bonus. Duplication. But we're so worried about it. But no, because I need to make the 500. I haven't done my goals yet. What does Zig Ziglar say? If you help enough people get what they want, you'll eventually get what you want, right? But we're so focused on like, yeah, that'll be great. Like when I'm at Rochelle's level, I'll be able to like talk to my team. I'll be able to help them because she has people working, right? I've got like 3,000 people on my downline. 3,000 people on my downline, and straight up probably have 15 to 20 like legit active leaders, personally enrolled leaders working. That's not to discourage you because my volume is still over 100,000, right? That's not to like with 15 to 20 people actively working. That's not to discourage you. That's to show you that you don't need to be where I'm at in order to be successful. Okay, there was a Ruby there this weekend that was making $1,700 a month. A Ruby. Like she gets it. She gets it. I needed to make it. I figured out how. Like I didn't need the rank. I didn't need to go diamond to make that amount of money. Like I needed that money. So I just ran. So she's being paid $1,700 a month as a Ruby. Like, yes, rich girl mindset. Nat says, I always tell my team, break it down. Think of it this way to look less scary. I never do it for myself. So I needed this. Exactly. I actually had something that was very uncomfortable. I had one of my girls that was there. She said, I'm getting tired, pumpkin. She said, I need you to tell me that you need me. Like, I need you to ask me to do it for you. Like, so that, like, let me be the reason you go ambassador. Like, I need you to need me. Lex, this may be for you. Because I want you to hear my heart about this, okay? And why it was so hard for me. And I was like, absolutely not. I will not put that on you. Like, I will not put that on you. So if anyone on this call has ever felt like I want to do it for my team, like I want to do it for Lex, like let's just unpack this, right? I want to do it for Lex because all of you do. And that's beautiful. And I love it. And I want you to keep that in mind because this is something I had to learn. Yeah, easy, baby. I want you to keep this in mind. On my side of it, and I think Lex can probably relate, right? When you guys want to do it for her, it's like, no, do it for you. Do it for yourself. I will not put that on you. I will not say, please go triple so that I can go ambassador. That's absolutely not. I will not say that. So I said that to her and she said, you don't get it. And I'm like, what? And she goes, I need you to say that to me because it's not worth it to me. I don't want it if I can't help you get it. Okay, she's yellow, like through the core, right? And I'm like, but what if you don't get it? And like for 1 second, let's just unpack this. What if I don't want you, it's not that I don't believe that she can get there, but I want her to get there for herself, right? So what if she fell short? Then now you're blaming yourself because I didn't promote and I don't want that. It's not your fault that I didn't go ambassador. You know what I mean? It's nobody's fault. So I don't want that to be put on you. But what I had to learn was she goes, then I'm not going to do it. Like, you don't get it. It's not for me. Doesn't work that way. I'm not going to do that. I will not. She goes, for the same reason that you wouldn't work for, dude, I know. For the same reason that you, okay. I love you. She's so tired, dude. For the same reason, what she said to me, and this is how I needed it broke down, for the same reason that I wouldn't go get the 50K to go ambassador is the same reason she won't go get to triple. Like, she's like, it doesn't move me. It doesn't make me want it. I need to know that I am needed, that you want me, that you want my help, that I get to help you do it. Right? And so I had to unpack that again, because I wasn't feeling worthy of somebody doing that for me. Right? So like, Lex, I want you to know that because you've actually shared this with me before, right? We all want to be needed. We all want to be needed. But I want you to know the reason why I never said I need you was not because I don't need each and every one of you. It's because I didn't want to put that on you. I didn't want you to have to carry something that's not yours. Your worth is not put into whether or not I go ambassador. It's put into you being worthy of triple diamond without needing to do it for me. Right? Which is heavy. It's like, man, but like, it's so much easier to do it for somebody else. But you're worthy. You're worthy of that. But I will accept that I understand now that you all need to be needed. It's why you feel you need to do it for Lex. It's why Lex feels she needs to do it for me. It's why I feel I need to do it for Shelby and Fair and everybody else that's above me, right? But I didn't realize that. I couldn't unpack that for some reason. I just couldn't get there. So that was another breakthrough that I had, was like, allow people to give you what you deserve. Don't take it from them. So Lex, allow these girls to give you what you deserve. Just like I'm going to allow you to help me get what I deserve by being one of my first triples to help me go ambassador. Right? I need you. And I need every single one of you girls. And she needs you. And I think Lex has been waiting for that for 2.5 years. And I'm sorry. Like, I know it's getting deep, but like, straight up, I am sorry. Because you deserve that. Like, you deserve to be told that you're needed. But I want you to know that on the other side of that, it wasn't because I didn't need you. It was because I just didn't want you to feel like if you failed, that you failed me. Right? I hope this is coming off right. I know. I'm sorry. Stop. I love you girls so much. I do. And I'm so glad that we got to connect tonight. I know it was deep and heavy, but like, dude, this is what's going to take us to the next level. This is the kind of talks that need to be had. Does anybody else feel that? Like, it's not like, here's how to edit your social media pictures. That's not taking you to the top. Like, it's not. It's stripping you down, building you back up. Is this me? Is this statement true? Who would I be without that statement? Right? Those are the things. Next time, warn me. My legs are weak. I know. Dude, it's heavy. I have like 17,000 more stories from this weekend. Those were just like a couple that wrecked me. The rest wrecked me even more. Okay. Like, I can't even begin. But this is what's taking us ambassador. It's what's taking your leader, triple, presidential, and ambassador. It's what's like literally going to skyrocket everything, is us stop talking about surface level shit and diving in to the problems of where the roots of things are, bringing them out and running to the top. So I've got to go get on another call. But I love you guys so much. And we'll do this more. We'll do this more, Lex. Get with me.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I love you guys so much. I'll see you on the Level Up Leadership